Well, everyone, it is a Wednesday, which means it is time for the news of the week for October 15th, 2025. This one's going to be a little bit short. We don't have a ton to talk about, so let's just hop right in. First off, then, let's take a look at the signings around the National Hockey League. You start off with the big boy. Lane Hutson has signed an 8-year, $8.85 million extension with the Montreal Canadiens. There is a video up on the channel. You can check it up here in the card, really going more in depth with it. But again, this is a phenomenal contract. Absolutely awesome. Again, you look at him, he was a Calder Trophy winner. I think it's diabolical that Montreal was able to pull this off and get it below $9 million. It's crazy. He's not even the highest paid defenseman on his own team. It's just wild, honestly. I really think that this is probably a top 10, maybe top 5, depending on what you think. A top 10 contract in the NHL already, and it's not even started yet. We got another year of Hutson's rookie contract, and then that one comes up. They have $27 million in cap space next year to spend. It's unbelievable, and this is pretty much their core locked up, essentially. I mean, you look at these guys. Suzuki's locked up. Caulfield's locked up. Slavkovsky's locked up. Obviously, there will be guys down the road like Demidov. You have Reinbacher. You have Michael Hage. Obviously, you have players that you need to sign and guys that need to be developed. But to be honest with you, I look at this roster and I say that is a well-structured team that is going to win cups. You look at Florida. Florida is eerily similar to Montreal, only that Montreal does not have a $10 million player, and I believe Florida does. And I don't know if Demidov's going to get, like, north of 10. He could if he's really good. But to be honest with you, I mean, you look at the Hutson deal, what does Demidov really have to stand on? So that's just unbelievable. One of the signings that we missed out on last week, and it happened at the end of last week after all the streams, and I put it into my notes hoping there would be more news to talk about on Monday, but there really wasn't. Jack Roslovic signed a 1-year, $1.5 million contract with the Edmonton Oilers. I really like the way Roslovic has played, especially last year with Carolina. I'm a little bit shocked he stayed off the board there, but you do have to look at context. You look at some of these players now, like a guy like Roslovic or a guy like Grzelcyk. They could have gotten a lot less money if they signed on July 1st. Instead, they waited until, you get past training camp and then maybe a team goes down with an injury. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, we need some depth. Like, for example, the Oilers are still without Zach Hyman. They bring in there, they sign Jack Roslovic to more money than what he probably would have gotten if he signed in July. Like, maybe not a lot more money. Like, he probably could have gotten a 1-by-1 in July or maybe even in August. But regardless, he still got that 1.5. It's an upgrade for sure from years prior, and he does get paid a certain amount of money because he waited. He doesn't need to go to training camp. You know what you're going to get out of Roslovic, a good bottom sixer, a good middle six player. You know what you're going to get out of him. And I feel like this is a really smart move on his part because he didn't have to go to training camp. He could have just sat down and waited. Just sat down and waited for a team to go and sign him, and the Edmonton Oilers were that team. I love this deal all around for them. And overall, it's a low-risk, high-reward. If it doesn't work out, he's gone. Like, it's a 1-year contract. The other guy who signed is Yona Gajovic to a 2-year, $905K contract with the Florida Panthers. Gajovic was very good last year in the playoffs, played like a fourth-line role consistently. We were worried a little bit about how Montreal, wearing the jersey, a little bit worried about how Florida was going to handle their depth situation and overall, but I thought that Gajovic coming in there was a good fourth-line player, a good 13th forward, rightfully so, getting his 2-year extension here with the Florida Panthers, paying more money than he was the prior year before, so hey, good on him. Somebody else who signed contracts with the Montreal Canadiens, but is not necessarily a player, is Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon. They both signed extensions with the Canadiens today, or I guess yesterday now when you're watching this. I'm recording this the night before. But regardless, you knew this was going to happen. Like, we immediately saw it after Hutson signed his contract. Montreal would be stupid to not lock these guys up. They have done a phenomenal job here building this Canadiens team. Keep in mind, Kent Hughes' extension is 5 years. So there you go. I really do think that this is going to turn out very well for Montreal. Again, like Ken Hughes has done a phenomenal job building up that Canadiens team from the ground up, essentially. He had some guys there, like Suzuki was there when he got there, Caulfield was there when he got there, but drafting guys like Lane Hutson late in that second round in 2022, drafting Uri Slavkovsky first overall, getting a guy like Ivan Demidov at fifth, drafting David Reinbacher. Overall, he's done a great job at building together this Montreal team. Traded for Noah Dobson, who has been awesome so far for Montreal, apparently. I think that that's a good thing to look at there too. And yeah, he's really been a big part in why the Montreal Canadiens have been a true wagon heading into this year. So really no complaints there with this extension whatsoever. Build him a statue just for that Hutson contract alone. Build him a goddamn statue in front of that arena. And then the last thing, I told you guys this wouldn't be a long video. We have the injuries around the league that we have to discuss. There are 4 of them, but the pretty 4 are detrimental, I will say. So Josh Norris is the first one. He is expected to miss a few weeks with an upper body injury. Very unfortunate there. Remember when Norris scored, 35 goals in 61 games back in 2023? Ever since then, has not been able to get back to that, dealing with injuries almost every single season. And heading into this year, where you were hoping it'd be a year for Buffalo, or at least for Norris, where like he comes in there, maybe doesn't go back to that 35-goal season, but at least gets 20. Like he plays a full year, he gets 20, scores 50 points. Hey, you can take that away and be like, that's a good season. He's going to miss at least 4 weeks. It's just not ideal. It's just so, this guy cannot catch a break, and neither can the city of Buffalo. It just feels like it's bad luck wherever they go. I feel so bad for this franchise. And overall, I feel more bad for Norris because his career has been really derailed by injuries. He could have been a good 30-goal scorer, but just hasn't been able to get there. Very unfortunate. Vincent Trocheck will also be week to week with a upper body injury. That is a little bit of a big blow there for the Rangers. They do have depth. Fortunately, they have plenty of those young guys down in the American Hockey League. You saw Connor Sheary get moved up there as well. They have depth, and I feel like Trocheck, they're going to miss him, but I think they will be able to work things out and be okay in the meantime, but he will probably miss. I like to say week to week is like at least 2 weeks. So he's going to miss probably up until the beginning of November, maybe even more than that. So we'll see what happens there with Trocheck. And then Samuel Girard is also week to week with a upper body injury as well. Girard, again, like I said, probably out 2 weeks. Unfortunate blow to that Colorado blue line, but the Avalanche have been good anyway, so we'll see how he can perform, or they can perform without him, but I think they will be okay. Their blue line's stacked enough to make it work, but obviously you're going to miss somebody there who's a very good second or third pairing defenseman on that roster. And then finally, Brady Tkachuk will miss a significant amount of time, at least 4 weeks, with a wrist injury. This is a massive blow to the Ottawa Senators, and a Senators team that has been struggling, too, to start the season. Some rough games with the Linus Ullmark. He's allowed like 10 goals in 2 games to start the year. Not ideal. They lost to Nashville in their home opener. Definitely seeing a little bit of struggles there, and then losing your captain, who a lot of Sens fans I've talked to, like LeBlanc, who's on the MVP, said that they are a completely different team without him, and it just sucks to see this guy go down. So I hope that Tkachuk's okay. I hope everybody's okay in the injuries list, and we hope to wish them all for a speedy recovery. So there you go. That's the news of the week here for October 15th, 2025. Very short video, like a very short one. I don't know if we've had this short of a news of the week, but there really hasn't been a lot of like paper transaction news or anything like that besides the Lane Hutson deal. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. You know what's funny? I actually was going to talk about the Hutson situation. I had a whole section in this notebook here that you guys can see is crossed out because it was all going to be about the Lane Hutson contract talks. That's all I was going to bring up in this News of the Week video today. But regardless, I'm glad that we're talking about it in the sense that he signed, not in the sense that he might not sign. So we'll see what happens there, obviously. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.